Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. Tonight's topic is going to be coming out of the fog. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. So when you are in the narcissistic relationship, this relationship develops insidiously right in front of you, but you can't put your finger on it. You don't know what's going on because most likely you were adored or love bombed early on in the relationship, or smothered with attention, and you're thinking that, wow, who is this person? This person really likes me, and wow, I want to build this friendship, or I want to work for this person, or maybe that could be my significant other, so on and so on. The point is this is all strategic. It's done by the narcissist to have them manipulate you and to have you believe that they are one person when in fact they are someone completely different. All of these things the narcissist does, they are all tactics to manipulate, destroy, deceive, lie, steal, cheat. The list goes on and on. But when you are actually enveloped in a narcissistic relationship in virtually any capacity, you are living in the fog. Because what seems normal, and I don't like to use that word, but what seems average or normal or everyday, commonplace, it's anything but that. The experiences that you endured are unlike anything you've ever had to go through in your entire life. Virtually, you're in bizarro world. What's up is down, what's in is out. Nothing makes sense, and your head is spinning because you're being gaslit and you're being stonewalled, and most likely you were in one part of a trauma bond, maybe fully enveloped in the trauma bond. But the point is, nothing seems to make sense to you, and you question yourself. And this is when you enter the fog, because you start to doubt yourself. You start to believe, like, let's take the business relationship, your boss who turns out to be a narcissist. Remember, last year they promised you that raise if you did X, Y, and Z. You did X, Y, and Z. It's time for the raise. You go in the boss's office and you say, hey, I'm ready for the raise. I did everything we wanted to, and the bottom line's up 34%. What do you think about that? And the boss just looks at you smugly and says, I don't recall having that conversation. What are you talking about? I really don't know what you're saying. And you're like, yeah, remember we talked last year at the same time. And we discussed this. If I did this, you're going to give me the raise that I was asking for. And then the narcissist may say one of many things like, is this documented? And chances are you didn't document it. Shame on you, I get it, I've been there, but that's why we document things in the workplace. But second of all, you're like, wait a minute, in your head, you're like, did this really happen? I'm not sure. The whole time, the narcissist, who in this case is your boss, knows exactly that you had that conversation. They know exactly the amount that was promised you if you performed the tasks, and they know exactly that they're gaslighting you right now. Think about that for a minute. This happens in the workplace all across the world, every single day. As a matter of fact, I'm certain it's happening somewhere right now as you're watching this video. And again, thank you for being here. But that's one example. And then you start to doubt yourself, like, what is going on here? And then you talk to other employees and they have the same experiences, and then you start to put two and two together, and you're like, whoa, I was right. This person is completely not telling me the truth. And you start to look for a new job. Boom, that's what happens. It's the same thing in a romantic relationship and a friendship. What you do is, you're in the fog because you can't figure out, is this, like, the person said they're going to meet, let's say a friendship, they're going to meet me at 4 o'clock for coffee. Okay, great, it's 4 o'clock, it's 4:30, it's 5. There's no sound, they didn't text you, they did nothing. And then you think, did we actually make the plans? I'm not sure. You check your messages, you did make the plans. Where's the person who turns out to be a narcissist? They're not anywhere to be found. Why? Because they're manipulating you again. And then when they finally do contact you and you say, hey, look, it said 4 o'clock. Where were you? Like, I was waiting an hour. What's going on? And they're like, I don't remember sending that message. It must have been a butt dial or whatever they say. The point is, they don't want to be accountable. Remember that. The narcissist is not accountable. They can't introspect, and they can't take any blame, or they can't apologize, say, oh, I was wrong. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean that. I'm so sorry I was late. No, they don't care, because they're probably getting a different source of supply, which at that 4 o'clock coffee arrangement that you had was probably more valid to them at that time. Not trying to trigger you or upset you, but remember, the narcissist takes as much as they possibly can during any given moment in any given day. And probably they had a better source of supply during that meeting that you had scheduled. These things happen all the time. In the romantic relationship, it's the same thing. You're in the fog because what you're doing here is most likely, if it's a serious romantic relationship or you were married, you were paying the bills. You were making sure the house was kept up. You were paying everything that had to do with the house, electricity, the phone, all these things. You were taking the kids to school. You were picking them up. You were making sure everybody had everything that they needed in the house other than yourself. Play that again. because you most likely were putting yourself last, meaning you weren't taking care of yourself physically, certainly not mentally, emotionally, spiritually maybe. But financially, I can assure you, most likely you were being abused if you were with a narcissist. And the whole time you were doing this, the narcissist was loving life because they're breaking down your boundaries. They're pushing you as far as they can push you, keeping you in the fog, keeping you spinning around on that hamster wheel, always dangling a breadcrumb of the carrot right in front of you. So you're like, oh my gosh, I think it's going to be good this weekend. No, it's not. The whole time you're in the fog, you're wondering, like, who is this person? Like, that's not the person I fell in love with, or that's not the person that they've changed overnight, virtually. Like, what's going on? Bear in mind, guys, this is a narcissist. They wore a mask to trip you, to trick you, to manipulate you, and to sink their dirty fangs into you so you would fall in love with them, or maybe you would have kids with them, or maybe you would be tied down to them financially. Whatever it is, that's what the narcissist wanted, because they wanted to extract as much supply from you as they possibly could. And your head is spinning. You're in the fog when this happens. It's never more evident than when the narcissistic relationship ends. If you are discarded, and I mention this frequently on the channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You are completely in the fog. You're bewildered. You're shocked. You don't know what to do. You don't know where to turn. You don't know, is this normal? Does this happen to other people? And then you probably didn't even know what narcissism meant. And then through many, many hours of research, due diligence, maybe spending time with your friends who dropped the word on you, boom, you found my channel or many other channels, and you're becoming educated, and that's a beautiful thing. Remember, education is empowerment. But getting back on track, your head was in the fog, and for many of you it still is, because you're in disbelief that how could this person that I fell in love with treat me this way? How could they behave this way? How could they just disappear for days, weeks, months on end? How could they have the mortgage in my name when they were paying the bills? You get my point. The house is in their name, but when you're paying the bills and you're stuck holding the bag. Things like this. The list of abuse never ends with the narcissist. It just doesn't stop until you remove yourself from the toxicity of the narcissist and you get away from their negative, toxic, draining energy. That's when things start to turn, and that's when you begin to slowly climb out of the fog. Now, when you're climbing out of the fog, what happens is this. It means you are getting your identity back, because the narcissist most likely stole all, if not parts of your identity, and you're starting to believe in yourself again, and you're seeing the narcissist for who they actually are. Because the whole time, whether they were your boss, your friend, your lover, whoever it was, neighbor, it doesn't really matter for this video. The point is, you were giving them the benefit of the doubt, and you were working hard to maintain that relationship, and you didn't want to quit. You wanted it to work out. I know you did. But when certain things happen, you can't unsee what you see. And when that happens, there's no turning back. That's why on the channel, virtually every video I create, I recommend blocking, going no contact, removing flying monkeys and any people you have in common, closing the chapter on the narcissistic relationship and moving forward and healing, learning, growing, teaching if you can, becoming educated, awakened, and empowered. But all these things I mentioned, when you're in the fog, it is very confusing. Imagine this, if you will, a non-narcissistic relationship. You're driving to the beach, and all of a sudden it's 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, but the sun's just coming up, and there's all this fog, like real fog from Mother Nature. It's hard to see, isn't it? That's right. If you don't know the road, it would be wise to pull over until the fog lifts so you can drive safely. That's what I would suggest. It's the same thing with a narcissistic relationship. Your head is in a virtual fog like that. You don't know who to believe, who to trust, if your memories were valid, if the narcissist was actually present there mentally when you were sharing those memories, or were they checked out thinking about getting new sources of supply? Get my point? It's not until you actually distance yourself from the narcissist and you actually become awakened and you understand, wow, that was the most toxic relationship I could have ever been a part of. I am so fortunate to be out of it. I want nothing to do with it again. And I really sincerely need to continue to become educated on this topic to benefit myself, to create and learn and adhere to my boundaries, and to not tolerate this kind of nonsense any longer. But when the fog really lifts, when it really, really lifts, you will know it. And how you will know it is you won't be thinking about the narcissist that much. You will be taking action and bettering yourself each and every day. You won't be ruminating that much. You will be focused on yourself, which is exactly what you should have been doing your whole entire life. Again, it's not tough love, it's just a fact. I'm guilty of it also. But if you now focus on yourself and understand that the narcissistic relationship did not benefit you, does not benefit you, and it never will benefit you, then you can maintain and grow your boundaries. Then you understand that all of the nonsense, all of the sob stories and the victimness and the false narrative that the narcissist dropped on you, it was nothing but a show to get you to play on your heartstrings, to get you to feel sorry for them, to get you to fall back in love with them 2, 3, 4 times if you went back after a Hoover. All of these things I mentioned are exactly how the narcissist gets you to come back and into a relationship, which we don't do. So when the fog lifts and you see things clearly, again, you will see life, yourself, your future relationships, your past relationships, your present moment you're in right now. You'll see it through a new set of eyes, a crystal clear 2020 set of eyes, and you will actually understand, wow, this relationship was toxic, it was devastating, it almost took me down. But guess what? It didn't, and here I am. And here I will continue to thrive, to grow, to become educated and empowered. That's what I will do. When the fog lifts, my hope is you will never enter the fog again, virtually and literally. My hope is you do not enter another narcissistic relationship, and if you are in one, that you get out of it. Or if you think someone could be a narcissist, boundaries, goodbye, you don't need it, there's no time for that. Putting all of your energy, your time, your love, your effort, and your empathy into yourself is the path. That's the way to grow. So guys, whether you're in the fog now, you were in the past, or you're just coming out of it, my heart goes out to you. I understand completely. Keep on working on yourself each and every day. Keep on understanding and believing, and keep on knowing that your path is so bright and it's right in front of you. It is controlled by one person, and that is you. Guys, I hope you liked the video. I loved doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon or evening around the world. God bless you. Stay true, stay strong, stay on the path. Continue to become educated, awakened, aware, and enlightened. I love you more than words can say. I will talk to you tomorrow. All right? Get out of the fog. I know it's difficult, but it will happen if you're in it. If you're out of it, drop comments. I love you guys. Bye.